when we, the people, start civics, it to be monumental, and that is going to change everything. So those people like Bondi, who's what? She's in the bar system, British Accredited Registry, which is basically controlling all of the bar people. It's like you can't get out of line because you basically made a you signed a agreement with us that you would not go against us, right? So that bar system has to be, we have to come in with a crowbar and take that bar system out of there and throw it away, burn it, right? And then I'll free a lot of those people that would really like to go after this system, but they're controlled by it to a great extent. If they get out of line, JFK. You want to get out of line? We're going to JFK you. So there's or almost Donald Trump you. So we'll see what happens in the future. I think we're moving in the right direction. It's going to take a little bit more time, and we're going to have some beautiful futures. But it's imagine what it's going to look like in 10 years. Look 10 years into the future. Do you think it's going to be like it is now? I don't think so. I don't think so. And it's going to be amazing, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to take a lot of us working together, and so let's meditate on it. So we're going to take 2 deep breaths. You can close your eyes, and then we'll focus on overcoming the deep state. How about that? Let's do it. All right, take a deep breath. Take it in. Build it up. Build it up. Every cell in your body, taking in that nice energy. Take a breath. Build up that you and light from source. Letting it go. Now focus on change into one that is going to be magnificent. Overcome this state after this. And any throughout our city. May bring that in us, and God bless us in our future days. Right. So, I used to do the singing bowl quite a bit. Unfortunately, the noise cancellation can't get it in there anymore. I think they did that on purpose. They used to do it all the time. And now noise cancellation. Remember how we used to take pictures and have all the orbs in it, and then they just like, oh, we got to give them. We can't do that. We have to make them better pictures, and so that's what they've done. They basically canceled a lot of the stuff out that we were using. They took away the church bells, which had a beautiful vibration that helped a lot of people and changed the environment of cities and so forth to a certain frequency. They've been very systematically controlling us, guys. So we have to take it back. All right. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration, and we'll see you guys next time.
Look at this. Just look. If this had come out a few years earlier, plumbers would have been out of a job by now. I'm telling you one last time, in our homes,
Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jacob with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. So, will the Epstein files be released like the JFK files? Look how long it took for them to be released. And once they're released, did anything happen? No. So, you know that I've had many shows on JFK assassination, and F. James Files, who was involved in that, was part of the 40 assassins that George H.W. Bush put together. And of course, George H.W. Bush ran CIA, and so he's revealed a lot of stuff. He could put a lot of people probably behind bars if they let him talk. So there's been a lot of people over the years that have disclosed incredible amounts of information on the JFK files, JFK assassination. So we don't really need the files because once the files were released, it's heavily redacted. You think they're going to put the information in there? It's going to incriminate someone after, God, how long ago was that? Like 60, over 60 years ago? No, of course not. Uh, Most of the people that could be prosecuted at this point are dead. James Files, if they give him uh, immunity, he could testify and he could disclose so much. And in fact, he is giving testimony secretly, and there will be at some point when he passes uh, incredible things that will get a lot of people in trouble, right? So, will they release the Epstein files? No, I don't think so. And if they do, it's not going to be anything. So I just had an incredible lady on my show, a doctor, and she basically disclosed that in Russia, because she was in the Soviet Union, you saw the Soviet Union collapse and then turn into what we know as Russia now, back to Russia again. Uh, and by the way, they kicked out all the satanic and Luciferian churches. They can't operate there anymore. So she said that they had child trafficking, Jeffrey Epstein, they had child trafficking going into other countries like Norway and other places, taking Russian children into these other countries. And she said that the people started to get together once the Soviet Union started to collapse, and they started to bring those children back. They had law enforcement involvement, they had teachers, they had citizens involvement, and then they started to do their own trials. They started their own judicial system, started doing their own trials of the people that were involved in doing the trafficking, in the pedophilia, in all the things that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in. And then the legal realm, because they had to do it outside of the legal realm, because the legal realm was corrupted. Sound familiar? So the people basically put together their own judicial system and started to basically prosecute. It's like this. They had everything lined out. This person did this. They're involved in the human trafficking. They're involved in pedophilia, blah, 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 blah. And so they started prosecuting. And then the legal system started to come in and go, oh, what you got here? And they started prosecuting. And they have very low, if any, I'm sure they probably still do, child trafficking anymore. So this is what we need here in America. We are not going to get any resolution from the Epstein files, and that's why Trump is constantly going, this is a nothing burger, right? Of course, all the Democrats and Drudge Report and everything, and some other people are saying, well, Trump's trying to hide stuff because he's involved in it. It's like, okay, but who knows? Who knows? He was a billionaire playboy. So was he? I don't know. Maybe he's atoning for past inequities and doing the right thing now, because he is definitely doing the right thing now. But will it happen with the judicial system? No, it's not going to. I can promise you, it's not going to. We've all talked about this. We've been talking about this for 5 years, that all of those people that forced that vaccination on us were going to go to prison. Any of them go to prison yet? Any of these people that have been involved in Epstein? Yeah, well, Ghislaine Maxwell, right? So she's in prison. So other than that, there's like, who was involved in, actually partaking. That's where this goes very deep. I mean, we go all the way back to the Playboy Mansion. They were doing this. We go into P. Diddy. Before P. Diddy, his father was doing it. So this is huge, guys. The only way it's going to be resolved is if, oh, look at that little bluebird back there. He's been squawking. Uh, so it's like my son that passed away. It's like his signal for me. So I see when I hike on the trails, I'll see a little bluebird feather on the trail. So I excuse me. So I did a 10-mile hike today, and spectacular here in Tahoe. So how do I do? Come from sea level and within 3 weeks do 10 miles up into the back country of Lake Tahoe so quick, high elevation, life wave, right? So life wave patches. I had like my ankles were like a little tenders, like a little wobbly this morning. I put patches on each one of them. I put the energy patches, energy enhancer in my lung points and down on the bottom of my feet in the kidney one position. So all that energy is going. I'm using Celergize, drinking the Celergize, which basically helps all my patches do even better. So I just like ramped up there, 5 miles out, 5 miles back. So here we are. All right. So now this keeps me in shape so I can talk about these evil people, right? And bring people on my shows that talk about these evil people. This is the only way. We have to get involved. Remember how we got involved? Remember those mama bears that got involved with the schools? They're trying to force vaccination in the schools, masking in schools, all this, retarded educational system. And now Trump is in. He's basically taking down the educational system. This is all for mama bears. This is from ground level, guys. This is we the people doing that. So we the people need to start to do our own trials. That doesn't mean anyone's going to get convicted because we do our own trials, but because we do our own trials. And this doctor I'm talking about, I did this incredible show with her yesterday where she talks about pedophilia, how she was involved in child trafficking herself, and has basically, had suppressed memories come back and all kind of crazy stuff. I had two amazing women, talk about that. One of them was involved in LifeWave. All right. So, and LifeWave was one of the things that basically the Eon patch was really good for the brain, helped her overcome her difficulty in sharing it and the pain and the trauma. And so, the patches, do a lot of things. All right. So let's look at some of the things that I have ready to share. The mainstream media is being decimated because they have been feeding us lies and deceit, right? So we have turned our backs on them. We, the people, we don't watch these programs anymore. And because we don't watch these programs anymore, they don't get advertisers. And because they don't get advertisers, they don't make money. So if you have someone like Stephen Colbert, he's being axed by CBS. So he has always been a big Trump negative guy, right? Very negative. He promoted the vaccination. And then Kimmel the same way. Remember the dancing, stuff that Kimmel had. And so here's the two. Stephen Colbert is like, F you after CBS ex-exec axed him. Jimmy Kimmel rages at CBS. So both these clowns are in trouble. Both these clowns push the vaccination. Both these clowns probably will be part of some kind of, I don't know. Well, will they be held accountable for pushing the vaccine that killed millions of people? I don't know. I don't know. But if I had my way, yes. If I was in charge of a judgeship that started to prosecute these as a private individual, I would say, okay, let's look at what these guys, put on their shows and how they influence people to take a vaccination. Did they know that it was harmful, right? So that's where some of this stuff is going to go. And I think it's going to be phenomenal, phenomenal. So a lot of those people in those positions are going to go bye-bye. We've talked about this for years, right? So CNN is going downhill. CBS is going downhill. They're trying to axe these jackasses as fast as they can to try and get some, people coming back to their shows. Are they going to have who they're going to get on those shows? Some of the people that have been in the truther community come on there and start to help these guys rise. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I would not go on their shows. They're corrupt. It would be like going into a swamp, a nasty crocodile-filled swamp, and swimming around it and sharing information. No, never, never. I've been hammered by this group for a long time, and I don't trust them as far as I can throw them, which is not very far. So Trump files powerhouse lawsuit, speaking of media, against Rupert Murdoch, 2 Wall Street Journal reporters, Dow Jones and News Corp, after Wall Street Journal Epstein hit piece, right? So they're trying to make him look bad as he's trying to reveal. Not going to reveal anything here, guys. Nothing's going to get revealed. Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly prepared a special gift and collected letters written from Trump and other people, supposedly, right? So do you think maybe the deep state maybe fed that in there? So this disinformation can come in from multiple different levels, guys. And imagine that, people start to run with this and they're trying to push this. We know that, look at monkeypox. Remember how they tried to push monkeypox and we exposed that? This is more the same bullshit. You're trying to, expose something that does not exist. All right, so pages from the leather-bound album assembled before Epstein was first arrested in 2006 are among the documents examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago. Years ago? How many years ago? How many years have you guys known this? How many years has this been covered up? We know it's been a long time, just like the JFK assassination. Who was involved with it? CIA, FBI, all the different criminals and criminal organizations that were set up after 1947 or before that, that are basically part of a Nazi system that has infiltrated. So here I go, conspiracy theory guy, and that's and where did conspiracy theory come from? It came from the CIA to shut people up that were revealing on JFK assassination. That's where it came from. So now I'm telling you that all these groups are involved. I've had multiple people come on and talk about it. And if I say that those groups are involved, it's a conspiracy theory. And they still use that. They still use that as MK Ultra. So there's a lot of people that still are, under that sway, the MK Ultra. He's a conspiracy theorist. Whoop. They don't listen anymore. They're NPCs. They're NPCs here basically to help the deep state push their agenda, right? And the world is filled with mostly NPCs, unfortunately. There's only a few of us, really, percentage-wise, that have real soul-level consciousness that are expanding our consciousness and rising above this, swamp thing here on Earth and try to create a better world. And these guys are trying to cut us out from being able to do that. So lots of different things. It'd be like the Russia hoax guys, them coming in with all this information. Oh, Trump's involved. Russia hoax again. You really think this isn't going to stop? That's why we have to just do our own court system. We have to create our own court system. In the meantime, they're trying to take down the economy. Warren Buffett has set alarm bells ringing on Wall Street. The veteran investor decisions to ditch billions in banking stocks could be a canary in the coal mine. Could be. He has been right all the time, every time. So Citigroup's profits jumped by 25%, beating analyst expectations. So the NASDAQ Bank Index is close to an all-time high. So I watch, I'm a guy that basically looks at the charts and everything. And we are at levels that haven't been, we are at higher levels of craziness than in the dot-com bust. All right. So we're at a mega level right now. And this thing will not end well. It will not end well. So we also know that they're pushing the crypto. And while I make money on crypto, I don't believe in it, right? And shocking for a lot of people. Oh, Mike, you don't believe in crypto? You talk about, making money in crypto, making millions in crypto, but you don't believe in it? No, I don't. There's been many people that said it is DARPA, and maybe some of it's valuable. How many of you guys have used crypto to buy stuff? Waiting. All right. So, and it's supposed to be the new thing going forward. The new thing going forward is going to be silver and gold, guys. So you can invest in crypto. Good luck with that. I've invested in it. I've had great success with it. It doesn't mean I have to believe in it. I invested in Amazon. All right. I invested in Apple. Apple, I believe in, but Amazon, that was super corrupt. But I've heard that it's not corrupt anymore, but we'll see. Bezos is basically no longer the CEO, and he's taken his winnings and he's gone out and he's got his little hottie that he runs around with, and who knows what's really going on with Amazon now. But I do think it's not compromised, so we'll see going forward where that's truth or not. So silver and gold. Silver and gold is going to be the thing that's going into the future, guys. Silver will act like a crypto coin soon, and it's basically set another base, kind of like XRP did. XRP set a long-term base, and when Trump started coming along and they started to take off I made lots of money in crypto in XRP way back. I don't know, 16, 17, somewhere around in that time frame, and I turned that into money that I put into Dogecoin, and Dogecoin was like 0.000000001, and then it went all the way up to like almost $1. Yeah, that was very nice. All right, so I took a lot of things and put it in there. Intuitive guy, I like that. So I like to put it in things that I intuit they're going to do well. I intuit that you might get a little bit more success out of some of these cryptos. But like Warren Buffett, he got out early, right? I got out of crypto early. And a lot of people are like, you got out too early. It's like, I don't care. I'm in silver. Silver's doing well. Silver is the best performing asset for the last, I think, 100 years, other than crypto, right? Because crypto does crazy stuff. Like I just talked about, Dogecoin, like went cray, and I made crazy money. So you can look for opportunities, but you can also see that, that might be something in the future, but it probably won't be, right? So, because it's super manipulated, and they're trying to like turn crypto into the new dollar, right? They want crypto to be the new dollar. No, we've talked about this. The dollar needs to be backed by gold and silver, or gold or silver, one of those. It does not need to be backed by crypto, like crypto something, whatever. They're going to try and do that and have people, invest in it and keep the dollar going for a longer term. It's just more manipulation, and all these people that don't let us see the Jeffrey Epstein files, or the JFK files, or the P Diddy files, or whoever files. They stay in power. So I'm not a crypto guy. Yeah. Now, I believe that crypto could be something in the future. I know a lot of people spoke to I've had a lot of those people on my show. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That'd be great if it works out. In the meantime, I think it's going to like pop, and I'm going to make some money on it. So, boom. All right. Yeah, thanks. But long term, guys, we'll see. We'll see. Uh, you know, throw your money down. See how it works out. Trump signs the Genius Act into law, a significant step for U.S. crypto regulation. So crypto's been on fire since that. XRP and XLM, I invested heavily in those earlier, and those did really well for me. Where they go now remains to be seen, but I'm like Warren Buffett. I'm out. I'm out. You could do a little bit. You might make a little bit more money. Maybe you make a lot. I don't know. But I'm in silver. Silver, baby. All right. So silver, basically, if you're in silver, I would recommend being in Dr. Kirk Elliott, KEPM .com, and mention Jaco, and they'll give you a great deal. No, they'll give you the same deal as everybody else, but at least I'll get a little credit. But if you do that, you basically have it. It's your money. It's in a vault. You think there's a billionaire recently, David, I can't remember his last name, but he invested over $1 billion in silver. So I said, once the billionaires start to pile in, silver's going to take off, and silver's taking off. Silver today was up, a little percentage, but it didn't go down because we know the banks don't like silver to go up because they shorted the hell out of it. They've been suppressing silver for a long time, and I hope they get destroyed when silver goes up. I hope they get destroyed, and they deserve it. They karma, baby, coming. So once the manipulation on commodities, real, tangible, hello, crypto people, real tangible assets, when they go up like they have in all the history of the world, when things go bad, when we go into the depressionary cycle, you're going to want to be in precious metals. And that crypto, like every time the stock market crashes, crypto goes down massively. When the stock market crashes, that crypto is going to go down, guys. So take your profits. Take your profits if you feel right. XRP is security, and they are going to have a buyback of 1 million per coin. All right, Jully, we'll see about that. All right, so dream on, but maybe, baby. So we'll see. So foreign exchange, the Dixie, the dollar has been creeping up. It's past its little. There's a couple places where there was resistance. It's pushed back both those levels. It's real tangible assets when they go up like they have in all the history of the world. When things go bad, when we go into the depressionary cycle, you're going to want to be in precious metals. And that crypto, like every time the stock market crashes, crypto goes down massively. When the stock market crashes, that crypto is going to go down, guys. So take your profits. Take your profits if you feel right. XRP is security, and they are going to have a buyback of 1 million per coin. All right, Jully, we'll see about that. All right, so dream on, but maybe, baby. So we'll see. So foreign exchange, the Dixie, the dollar has been creeping up. It's past its little. There's a couple places where there was resistance. It's pushed back both those levels. It's getting ready to rise. What does that do for crypto, commodities? Usually those go down. But if they don't go down, like silver and gold is not going down, that's an indicator that things are changing. Now, rates, the U.S. 10-year bond has crept up for many cycles. It's down today. So somebody's buying it. They're buying the debt, and usually that's the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve is probably going to go away. All right. So with Trump already making those statements that may fire Paul. All right. I told him to leave, and he's not leaving, so I may fire him. So that's sent the market into a tailspin down, and crypto went down too. What did silver and gold do? Up. All right. So all of you guys want the Federal Reserve to go away. And you want the IRS, which is just basically it's mafia, group that goes out and steals from us for the Federal Reserve. If you want those two to go away, crypto is going to go down. So I know a lot of you don't care. You're not in crypto. You're in silver, or maybe you're in crypto and silver. I've been in both. So I'm not in crypto now. That doesn't mean you should be, right? Not in crypto, because crypto is kind of up over a long period of time. All right. XRP. So how long do you guys hold XRP? A long time, didn't you? HODL. So hold on for a long time. So and don't let go. Hold on, and don't let go. And I don't know. We'll see. All right. So a lot of you guys are not going to listen. You have like stars in your eyes and toilet paper in your ears or whatever. You're not going to listen. But it once the pain happens, then you'll it's over, right? You won't have any money to like invest in anything else. So it'll be like one day you're like way up, and then next day you're like way down. It happens that fast for crypto, unfortunately. It goes up crazy and it comes down even crazier. All right, so that's enough of that. All right, invest in what you want. All right, I just give advice. All right, so U.S. So the military summary for Ukraine. Now, like I said, Russia, Mother Russia, is they really support God, and they have kicked out the Luciferians. And who are they fighting? They're fighting the Nazi, NATO, and what used to be Democrat Party Luciferians. They're fighting them, guys, because these guys are evil. Now, here's a good example. So a lot of people, you ask AI. So a lot of the AI, some of it not, maybe ChatGPT is a good AI. I don't know. I've heard that I use it, and when we do our audio, we take the videos that we do, we turn them in audio. We're using ChatGPT, right? And it works really well. We don't use any other AI because the other AI, I believe, is the bad AI, right? Google AI, you name it. They don't work very well, especially for me, because my social credit score is really low for the deep state, right? So I come in and ask questions, and I get, no, we're not answering that because it's bad for Ukraine. It's like, bad for Ukraine. What about Russia? All I want is the information here. So this is the way things are going. They're controlling information, but here we are right here. Military summary. All right, look at all this. Popov Yar has fallen, drawing near to Rodonetsk. Western Volchansk has fallen. Does it sound like the Ukrainians are winning here? The battle for, let me see, Udachin has begun. Volskresk has fallen. Caught in a cauldron. The front collapsed. The day that changed the world. Mirn has fallen. Northeast flank has collapsed. Crushing defeat. A devastating strike. So on and on and on. Kamenetsk has fallen. Fallen. 728 drones strike. Lutsk and Zuzulba. And so Russia, Mother Russia, is winning, guys. They're defeating evil, the Luciferians, all right, the Nazis. So, which side are you on here? Are you on the side of God? You're on the side of Nazis, the Luciferians. Who do you support here, right? So it's troubling. It's troubling to see that there's still people, especially in the political class and in the, of course, the media, that still subscribe to Ukraine winning this war. They're losing horribly. Russian Summer Offensive, Part 1. Russian Armed Forces storm southern Volchansk. Russian Armed Forces forcing Armed Forces Ukraine collapse. Mega offensive. Armed Forces Ukraine under immense pressure. Pokrovsk disaster. Kamenetsk has fallen. 8-kilometer long breakthrough. Does it sound like Ukraine's winning there? Right? You pull it up on AI, and they're probably going to tell you yes. Probably going to tell you, yeah, crazy push. Ukrainian manpower disaster. Ukrainian manpower disaster. So what do? They go out and they grab people. They grab people. There's a lot of people that don't want to fight this war. Right? It's understandable. I think like 14 million people have fled Ukraine. That's a lot of people, right? And it's not that big of a country. Now, at one time, Ukraine and Russia were one, and then they weren't. And now, what do the Ukrainians do to try and get people? They come in and grab them off the street. Watch this. So you see here, they got one guy on the ground. They got one guy right here. A little bit of resistance there, so they're beating up on them. And you're going to hear the women. The women are going to start shouting at them. This is we need the women to, like, I guess, push back on this. That's what happens. But watch this. This is horrible. What happens? All right, that right there, he broke that guy's neck. That guy is dead. All right, so you're not going to use him for your front because you want to get brutal right here and force people to obey and, conscript them, force conscription. This is what's going on in Ukraine, right? Who supports Ukraine? Who supports Ukraine? Watch who supports Ukraine. Watch the political class who supports Ukraine. They are evil. They are evil, right? All right, so that's frustrating, but that is unfortunately the way things are. All right, so let me share a little bit of this interview that I did just recently. So this is Dr. Juliet. She was raised in a CIA family. How about that? And that CIA family basically bred her to be a child sex slave for the government, for the CIA. And then Lynn Scott, as a child in universities, saw all kinds of horrific things. Both of them saw in tunnel facilities and underground facilities where a lot of this stuff happens. So Dr. Juliet, like I said, had served a lot of time as a doctor in the Soviet Union and saw the transition to Russia, and the transition was magnificent. Now, listen to what she says. I want you guys to have a little piece of this. You went there when it was still the Soviet Union.
Yes.
So do you think there is a difference between the Soviet Union and the child trafficking that you witnessed and tried to help overcome? That's a great story. I definitely want to read your book about that. That's fascinating. But also, now that it's Russia, has things changed at all, or is it still
completely? It's completely different. In fact, we are more like the old Soviet Union than they are, and the Russian Federation. It's called Russian Federation because it's made up of over 150 different ethnic groups, but they are united as the country Russia, and it became a deeply religious country. When I was first there, religion was outlawed, and the practices there, because religion was outlawed and there was a complete lack of any kind of church life in the communities, or no one was raised to be a moral person. So it was a wild mess of a country, and they knew that. And one of the things that Putin has done that has made him so popular is that he restored religion. So he's a Christian. He's the first Christian president. The rest have all been Ukrainian Jews. But he was the first actual Russian Slavic Christian president.
Okay, so Ukrainian Jews, right? So we've talked about the Khazarian Mafia, who funded the Russian Revolution. It was Khazarian Jews in Manhattan, right? So we know where the enemy is. We know who the enemy is. And Russia is eliminating the enemy in their country, right? So we have to clean up ours, guys. We have some horrific people that are trying to do some incredibly evil things here in America under the guise of Judaism, under the guise of Christianity, under the guise of Islam, and they're horrifically Luciferian, and they hide behind these religions. That doesn't mean all of them, of course not. Of course, I would say that I'm Christian, but I'm basically I believe in God. So, but I don't need someone in Christianity, especially not the Pope, most of whom have been pedophiles. I do not need them to tell me what to do. I do not need anyone to tell me what to do as far as my connection with Source, with God, the loving Creator, right? And this is where we're at right now. So a lot of people do. A lot of people believe in it. A lot of people are MK Ultra'd by religions, guys. All right. So this is something that Russia is not about. They're about the people. Like we need to go. We need to be the people. We need God in our culture. They have brought in, they being the Luciferians, have brought in a collapse of that system.
He brought back religion. He and not just Christianity, but all religion that existed at the time of the revolution, and when all religion was banished, could legally return. He's built over 30,000 churches, mosques, synagogues. All religion that's real religion is respected. And interestingly, Russia just...
So what a concept, real religion, and not religion that's basically compromised. So I've been in a lot of churches that are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And that's where we need to go back to. We need to go back to a connection to Source, to God, and religion that basically helps you transform from a control system like we're in right now to one of freedom to not to have your children snatched from you, not to be taxed to death, not to be vaccinated to death. So we're moving in that direction, but we're relying on a system that is completely and utterly corrupt and will never be anything else.
Passed a law banning Satanism. So making any kind of satanic cults illegal in schools, and specifically addresses the fact that the United States has Satan clubs in schools, and they're looking at the satanic rituals, which are the pedophiles being able to do lewd dances and spread books in grammar schools. They specifically list that in their education, saying this will not be done in Russia. This is completely illegal. Huge support. The public supports the bill. Sort of the less religious and the more satanic and evil the West looks, the more they retreat to traditional religion. And it's completely different. It's an entirely different country. And when I first went there, Ukraine and Russia were pretty much indistinguishable. They were sort of all one thing. And as time progressed, Russia went towards family values and religion and restoring religion and being quite conservative. And Ukraine went the opposite direction. It went completely woke. It's still completely woke, and it's suffering terribly from that, from what I can see. So
So pretty amazing. I highly recommend you guys go watch that. It's slowly but systematically blowing up. People are hearing about that interview, and they're coming and they're watching it and they like it, right? So there's more. There's more. Of course, we'll touch on that. But first, Tulsi Gabbard releases bombshell evidence exposing years-long coup against Trump. Egregious abuse of power. In a stunning move on Friday, Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, revealed what she calls overwhelming evidence. Of course, we all know this. It's like, duh. So do you think anything's going to be done? Probably not. It hasn't been done up to this point. Trump tried to get it done when he was in office last time. The newly classified files shine a light on a darker chapter in American politics, one that saw federal agencies weaponized against a duly elected president. This explosive revelation, really? We all know that. We are awakened. Our consciousness has evolved and has risen. We're looking down on stupid, right? NPCs and a corrupt system that's trying to appease us and keep everything going. No, we need to do Nuremberg trials, right? So we need to start them. We need to do them now, right? We need to start them. Now, Dr. Juliet, they actually are starting that process, and she's going to come back and share the process that how that started. Now, we did this, I did this, and many of us truthers did this with the mama bears, how to get involved, how to look at their bonding, all these different things we talked about, and we started to destroy their system, and then we started to vote in conservatives. I was part of that in Florida. There was this one school system that was completely corrupt with Democrats, and we voted virtually all of them out. All right. So we're moving in the right direction, but we need to get involved, not at the school level. That's good. We did that. We know how it's done now. Now we need to up the game. We need to become the judicial system now. We need to do that. It's our civic duty to do that. Now, while I'm on this, zoom in. While I'm on this, someone shared with me, I don't know if it's true or not, but they're putting out a notice to a lot of military units. And again, I'm not military right now. I'm not involved. I don't go to military bases and see their, confidential or secret, message traffic. But there does seem to be some concern out there, and we know this is coming, and we need to be aware of it. This is one of the ways they stop us out from, awakening and destroying their system, which if we start to do our own trial system, that will do that. So one of the things that they have said is a lot of people that, like me, military or intelligence groups and so forth, that were involved in overseas missions in the Middle East. Now we have all these different groups that are going to target us. Now this has come in before, right? We've seen this, but never before have we had a government that have allowed full openness of our border for millions of people to come in. And we already know that terrorists came in through that border when it was wide open, guys. And we know the Democrat Party is in cahoots with these terrorists. We know it. It's not me making this up. We've been talking about this for years, and there's evidence of it. There's lots of people that are disclosing on it. So the word is they will target those people, former military, law enforcement, and maybe even political, and probably nobody in the judicial system won't want to go after any of those guys, because most of them are all corrupt, with a few exceptions. And most of them were put there in the last administration to be a complete roadblock for anything that Trump comes out with. So again, the only way we beat them is to make our own judicial system. Now they're going to start to come after, I think, a lot of us, all right, with their terrorists that they've allowed to come in. And that seems to be out there in message traffic right now. So just be aware of that, guys. All right. So the newly declassified files. Okay. Yeah, more files declassified. Okay, whatever. We're going to get to see those. Yeah, well, they're on my desk. They're on my desk. I'll get them out as soon as I can. Shine a light on a darker chapter in American politics. Again, we already know this. We don't need to see the files. Most of us knew long time that JFK was assassinated by a group within the United States government. We didn't need to see files on that. We still don't need to see the files on that. We had a lot of people talk about that. We've seen the evidence. We've done the research ourselves, even though they try to insert bullshit into a lot of it, because that's part of the program. Disinformation. Anyone that's close to a truth, assassinated, suicide, accident. So probably hundreds of people died trying to bring truth about JFK assassination, guys. Marilyn Monroe, right? So there's been so many people that have been killed and eliminated for a lot of this stuff. Jeffrey Epstein. Imagine all those women that came out and revealed at their own personal, safety. All those young women, knowing that Ghislaine Maxwell had probably told all of them, and a lot of them said it, that if you reveal, we have ways to eliminate you, right? Of course, that's my Nazi talk, but she was Mossad, right? So, Mossad, CIA, MI6. I don't know who's the German Nazi system now. I don't know, but a lot of them involved in this. And you think this stuff is going to come out and get revealed? You know how many people would be taken down? They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. We have to do it. All right. So that's my focus today. Right? That's my focus today. According to Gabbard, the newly declassified information points directly to the Steele dossier. Give me names. All right. The discredited and unverified report was funded privately by Hillary Clinton. Then arrest her. Come on. I think she's already dead, but whatever. So anyway, I think a lot of these people have been dealt with. They're like kind of like the deep state. When they assassinated JFK, he was in the background working with I think Khrushchev. He was preventing nuclear war because the deep state wanted a nuclear war. So Kennedy was like, F those guys. I'm going to work around them. I'm going to talk to the president. And then they found out he was talking to the president, and they're like, there you go. He's a traitor, and it will take his whole career or his whole administration the next 3 years to convict him, and it'll be so tough, and it'll be bad for Americans and so forth. So let's just get him. And that's what they did. All right. So he was preventing nuclear war, and he prevented Berlin from going into World War III. So Berlin, they were close to duking it out in Berlin. So because of Kennedy's back channel stuff, because he had to go around the CIA because he knew they were corrupt as shit, he basically got killed by them. All right. And they've all gone away since then, right? Yeah. They've gotten a lot stronger. They're more inserted into everything now. So yeah, we can depend on them to come out with some good trials against the Epstein files that they created. Let's stick some stuff in there for Trump so we can have judicial system prosecute him. Yeah. So all right, guys. Now let's talk about this Epstein stuff, because this Epstein stuff, like I said, goes way back. All right. 70 years when Disneyland was started. 70 years. It goes way back. Mike, it wasn't started that early. Oh, yes. All right. So the anniversary of Disneyland.
So both of you talked about tunnels and perhaps guns, deep underground military bases. I don't know if you've experienced those or not, but tunneling systems, especially underneath a lot of these universities, land like you talked about. Dr. Juliet, what are your thoughts on the tunnels?
Oh, it's significant. I was often taken down into tunnels. At the time that I remember the tunnels the best, we were living in Southern California, and I was taken into tunnels under Disneyland. So Disneyland opened, I think, in 1955 or 56.
Yeah.
And
7-year anniversary.
yeah, and so I was taken there for all kinds of procedures and lessons and classes, and we were trained by in the crowds at Disneyland. Taught we had to learn how to attract people and get them compromised so they could be photographed. I mean, it was and if we didn't do that, then we didn't go home, and so it was a bizarre world, but it always you always wound up in a tunnel. There was another with these fires, the California fires. They talk about Laurel Canyon, and the tunnels in Laurel Canyon definitely there. But there are multiple tunnels. That's a web of tunnels there through Topanga Canyon, Tabruca Canyon, El Toro. I think there's like 15 canyons. And I was watching how when they were burning, when the fires were raging in Southern California, the fire department sort of stood around where I know the tunnels were and let them burn. So I think they were.
It's kind of like that movie Saving Private Ryan, where they came after the Germans had machine gun them all through the beach, and they finally made it up to the pillbox, and they started using flamethrowers to get the Germans in the pillboxes, and they were like stepping up and burning, and some of the guys were like shooting them, so they would put them out of their misery, and then the guys were like yelling, "Don't shoot them, let them burn." So that's kind of what we just saw there, I think, with a couple different instances. We saw, yes, the deep state still has a lot of power, guys. They still are doing, the directed energy weapons. They're still doing crazy storms. They still have power. They're going to continue to have power for many years going forward. Right? We're still going to be taking them down. We're still going to be taking out their, their evil weapon systems and so forth over time. But it will take time. And one of the main factors in that process is raising consciousness. Right? So we got to work around these NPCs, these non-player characters that are in the way, right? So you got to recognize them. I know a lot of you guys have basically just disowned people because they're so damn stupid, don't wake up for no reason for anything. They're probably NPCs, all right? So it's move on, move on and, help people that are not NPCs, right? So learn how to recognize them. I've seen NPCs so many times. It's like there's an NPC. There's an NPC. I remember I went to a restaurant. I was staying at a Hyatt, and there was a group of us went to this restaurant and had dinner. And before we went in, this studly looking black guy's like, "Oh, you're a stud." And so we started talking. And said, "Yeah, I was in the military," and we were talking for a little bit, and then I went in. So I came back the next day with my son, and we're going to have lunch. And he was there again. He's like a ballet guy. And I said, "Hey, how's it going?" And he like waved at me like he didn't know who the hell I was. And I heard him say to the guy that just walked up, "Oh, you're a stud." And it's like the same thing. He's saying the same thing. And I was like, wow, okay, there's an NPC. But I've seen a lot of them over the years. We've seen them on TV. They have certain talking points. Now, NPC basically in gaming and gameplay, you're moving in the game and you come up to like a counter. You want a weapon. It's like, yeah, I want an MP5. And he's like, we don't have MP5s. We only have AK-47s, or we don't have anything but AK-47s. That's all he says. So how about a Glock? We only have AK-47s, and that's all they say. That's all they say. That's all they say. And it's like they have underground tunnels in Disneyland. I love Disneyland. I take my children there all the time. But they have like, these people that wander around and like take pictures of kids. And I've seen that. I tried to report it. I saw some Muslim guys when my kids were like really small in a little petting zoo. And of course, I stand back and let them have fun. I'm watching like a good SEAL dad would do. And I saw these guys taking pictures, and I was like, "Oh, they're taking pictures of their children. How nice!" And I noticed they were taking pictures of white little girls, and they moved from one to another, and then they took a picture of my girl, right? And they're smiling like they're like, oh, we're just taking pictures of our kids. And I was like, where is security? Where are the cameras? Because Disneyland is filled with security. You would think so, right? So I'm looking. They notice that they're obviously observant too, because they're doing something illicit, and they saw me getting a little anxious, and I'm looking for somebody to tell. And they quickly walked to where the tram station is, got on the tram, boom, gone. And I was like, damn it. It's like, even in Disneyland, they let that stuff happen. That was my awakening. Right? That was my awakening. So yeah, take your kids to Disneyland. Yeah. And I took my kids to Disneyland. As some kind of weird guys like asking me questions about my kids. Tracy's like, yeah, she almost said F off, so and she still talks about that because she figured that out too. So I was like, yeah. I'm like, these are my kids. Why? Like, what? Why would you think they're not my kids? Weird stuff there, guys. And maybe that's part of what she's talking about. They have groups of people out there, right? They're canvassing, how to oh, those aren't your kids. Well, I'll watch them. You're watching them. I'll watch them. And then they disappear in the tunnel system, right? So, how many times has that happened in Disneyland? Probably like a billion. And they've caught so many pedophiles in Disneyland, Disney World now. It's like they should shut the damn place down. They caught so many of them. It's crazy. All right, so David, you never been? I got to tell you, it's you work around that shit, right? I hadn't been, excuse me, in a long time, and I just recently went with my son-in-law and his girlfriend, and they'd never been, and I was like, I got to take you there, and she wanted to go. It was her birthday. I was like, okay, let's go. So we went there, and if you're not with kids, it's a great time. The rides are amazing. The service is amazing. So it's all a cover for some, creepy stuff they do there. Though you have to be aware of that. It's everywhere. So you can go to like the U.S. Capitol and watch them have a session or something, and look around the room and go, 95% of the people in here are effed up. So you can go wherever you want. This system that we have here is unbelievably corrupt. How does it change? How did it change in Russia? The people basically got tired of it, and they started getting together, and they're like, this is the way we're going to stop it. We have to stop it. And that's the way it is here, guys. So again, there's plenty of incriminating evidence out there, right? And we have plenty of people that can be incriminated and stand trial. We can stand trial without them there, can't we? We can bring in the evidence. We can bring in the people that have been abused. We can bring in all these different things. We can document it, and then we can say we want justice and see what happens, right? And they can say, well, in our system, you're nothing. And we'll say, well, in our system, you were nothing too. How about that? And eventually somebody's going to win.